been a minute since I uploaded a video. I was doing the HESI, practicing for it. I did complete my exam. I failed it first try. I failed the HESI. But that's going to be another video, so please stay tuned for that one, and I'm going to tell you what I did wrong, how I failed it, the whole nine, what I'm doing, to correct it. I do have to wait 60 days for my next one. But today this video is going to be about going back to school in your 30s. So I am currently 36 years old. I started back to school when I was 35, and I've been in school for about a year now. Tomorrow actually starts the new semester for my microbiology course. I am a pre-nursing student, so I haven't got into nursing yet. I am still in my prerequisites, but microbiology is my last prerequisite before nursing. And with that being said, you do have to take the HESI. So again, stay tuned for the video on my experience with the HESI. So going back to school in your 30s, do I like it? Do I not like it? Right now, I would say that going back to school has been the best decision that I've ever made, especially for right now. I know that if I would have went to school earlier, like in my younger 20s, I don't think that I would have lasted as long or even did as good, because right now I'm so in a stage of just like learning, right? Wanting to absorb and soak up as much information as I can, wanting to do as good, even if it's a class that's just like it's an elective, it really doesn't mean much, or it's not really going to go towards my nursing degree. I still want to do as good as possible in those classes, and that's something I just don't think that I would have done in my younger 20s. I wish that I would have did it back in my younger 20s though, only because I would be done with school by now. I probably would be well into my career. So that's one thing that I really wish I would have started then. It just in my 20s in general, but preferably my younger 20s. That way, as of right now, being 36, I could be, I could have blossomed so much in my career and be so experienced and knowledgeable and skilled in my actual career. So that is a plus side of actually doing it early, which is something that I'm going to do with my children. I'm trying to do now with my nieces and nephews, but it's something I'm going to do with my children as well. I'm going to make sure that, I give them as much resources as I possibly can with going back to school. Kind of like giving them the importance of why they should do it now versus doing it later in life. But a lot of people go to school in their younger 20s and then they go back to school, in their 30s, change career paths. So you can do all of that in your 30s. So it's not to say like someone can go to school in their 20s and that's just it, right? Like, no, you can of course always go back in your 30s and change career paths or further the career that you're currently in. I actually started business school in my early 30s, and I got an A in all of those classes, but life was happening to me at that time, and I just never went back to finish my associate's degree in business school. So again, that's my 30s, right? And I did so well in it. I could have went back for my last year and I could have got my associates. That's just not something that I did. And at a point, I just wasn't even interested in getting a business degree anymore. I feel like I should have though. I wish I would have, because everything is a business, especially in America, right? Everything is a business. So I definitely could have thrived with that degree anywhere, somewhere, right? But going back to school, being 35, 36, I do feel as though that is the best thing, the best decision that I've made, because no matter what, it's like, oh yeah, well, you're going to take this long to get into your career. You're going to take that long to get in your career. But if you're going to be alive in 10 years, you're going to want that degree. If you're going to be alive in 20 years, you're going to want that degree. You're going to be alive in 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to want that degree. And then for me to say, oh, I wish back in my 20s that I would have done this and I would have been, completed with it by now, I'm going to say the exact same thing in my 40s. God dang it, I wish I would have went back when I was 35 when I was thinking about it. And I would have been done with it by now. You know what I mean? And then when I'm in my 50s, I'm going to say the same thing about my 40s. So it's just like, why not just do it now and why not get it over with? I am so much more, I would say, responsible now. So I have great time management skills. So I do very good at that. Sometimes, you know, people in their younger 20s, especially when I watch, you know, other people online that have went back to school or currently in school, and they're in their younger 20s, they find it so hard to have time management. And because it's like, oh, they want to do this and they want to do that and they want to hang with their friends and they want to and they want to go to the mall and they want to do so many things. But me being in my mid 30s is kind of like, okay, I've been there, done that, right? And like, I feel like that a career is so much more important than hanging out with your friends. If your friends are your real friends and they're understanding, they will support you along your process in being in school. So I have great time management skills. I have friends and family that completely understand. You know, I'm going back to school. Sometimes when you're in your younger 20s, you just want to hang with your friends. So if you have a friend that's currently in school, it's kind of like, girl, you don't hang with me no more, you know, and then you go off and find new friends versus honestly being understanding. Not to say like today's generation of 20-year-olds, I think that they are way more understanding, because a lot of them are also entrepreneurs, you know what I mean? So I think that a lot of them now, but I know when I was back in my younger 20s or whatever, I would probably say yeah, you know, because I'm not even friends with majority of the people that, you know, I was friends with in my early 20s. I'm not, you know what I mean? So being in my 30s, you don't think about that. You don't even care about any of that. You honestly only care about setting yourself up for success, setting yourself up for the future. You care about aligning yourself with, you know, the people, family and friends, right? You care about aligning yourself with people who support your goal, support your dreams, support your mission. You know what I mean? So being in my 30s and starting school, or, you know, going back to school, I am so happy with doing that. Again, I just feel like that if I would have done this in my 20s, I would have probably got C's, B's, and, you know, maybe even had to take classes over again, because I just could have cared less, you know, of going to school, let alone doing good in school. And for the programs that I'm going for, they care about good grades. They care about your GPA. And me, I just would have been going just to say I went. So I think that this is, for me, this is the best time that I could have, you know, went back to school. So I'm very, very proud of myself. I never feel like it's too late to go back to school. Even if you're in your 40s, even if you're in your 50s, which a lot of the times when I watch people online, they'll say that they have 40, 50-year-old people in their class. And I love to hear that, because it's like the mindset of those people is like, listen, if God woke me up again another day, I ain't dead, I can keep going. There's so much more that you can do, because again, if you're alive in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you're gonna I wish back in my 30s, you know what I'm saying, I would have went through those classes. That way I can be well on into my career. I could have started my own business by now in my career. I had to change the position of my phone because it was overheating in the sun. But you could have done and accomplished so much within that time frame versus just saying, oh, I wish I, you know, was done, or oh, I wish, you know, I would have, could have, should have. Just go ahead and start now. You don't even know where you're going to be at in the next 10 years to say you needed that degree. People say so much how nursing have changed their life, you know, or just starting nursing has pushed them to the trajectory of whatever career that they're currently in. And that is so very important to actually do. That is so important to, you know, to at least get it done. To at least, whatever it is, just get it done. Just get it done and get it over with and get it out the way. And that way, by the time I'm 36. So by the time I'm in my 50s, I could have saved so much money within that time frame. Started my career, saved so much money, had multiple streams of income, did other avenues and pivoted in other directions in my career, advanced even further than what I even thought that I could have in my career. You just don't know what you can accomplish within that time frame. 10 years is a long time. It's a very long time. So just imagine and when I'm 50 and 20 years later down the line, how much I could accomplish by then. You know what I mean? So I just say it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. go back and just go hard, lock in, stay consistent, do your best no matter what class it is. Do your best, because you never know if you want to go to a different program down the line. I'm like, well, I never thought about being a nurse practitioner. Now I want to be a nurse practitioner, and they're saying, oh, well, you know, you have to retake this class over again that you did, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, because you got a C in that class. You didn't do as good as you could have in that class. I don't want to take no classes over again. Even if the class was fun and entertaining and interesting to learn, I don't want to take not one class over again. The only thing I want to do is I want to just be well into my career, making money, saving money, building my life, building my future children's life, you know what I'm saying, helping my family out with resources or whatever I can, wherever I can. So I don't want to still be in school when I'm 40 something years old. I don't want to still be in school when I'm 50 something years old, unless it's just something I want to do to advance my career, not pivoting to another career or anything like that. I am the type of person, I'll do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. So if I am that age and I feel like, okay, I do want to do something different, I'm just going to do that. Because again, as long as the good Lord wake me up, he's giving me another opportunity. No matter what stage you are at in your life, if you want to go back to school, do it. I don't feel like it's hard. I don't feel like it's challenging. I don't feel like it's complicated. I feel like the part that can be most challenging is when you have a professor who does not match with your learning style. That's the only time that it can be challenging. But having good time management and trying your hardest to teach yourself, comprehend, sit with the chapters, sit with the words, sit with the pictures, you know, that is showing you. Find people, like-minded people on social media, find like-minded people on YouTube. That really helps. It honestly helps. When you have professors that really don't know how to teach you or what to teach you, or you know, you don't understand how they're not, because my last professor in A&P2, she just wasn't a lecturer. She just didn't teach us much of anything, so we kind of had to fend for ourselves. And I ended that class with a B. I had 89.27. I needed less than 1 point in order to get an A in that class. I'm not going to stress about it because it is what it is. I did my best. It is, you know what I mean? So I'm not even holding that to her or to me. I did my best and I moved on. The next class is microbiology, and I did use ratemyprofessor.com to find my professor, and he is phenomenal from what his previous students say. I didn't see not one bad review left for this man, so I'm hoping and banking on the fact that I'm going to do just as good as him. But with that being said, I feel like going back to school in your 30s for me was the best time to go back to school, because I don't play about my education. I would have played about my education in my early 20s. For me, I would have played about my education. I would not have taken it seriously, and by now I probably would have had to go back and take some classes over again because I didn't take it serious. So please don't let your age, or it's your mindset. It's not your age, it's your mindset. If your mindset is like, I can do it, I'm locked in, take it seriously, and just stay focused on the fact of what opportunities this career can get you, what opportunities this degree can get you. If you stay focused on that, your age means absolutely nothing. It is all about your mindset. You have some people that are in their early 20s who's not taking it seriously, and once they get to their 30s, that's going to be the best time for them, like it was for me. So I would just say my experience going back to school in my 30s has been phenomenal. I enjoy it, I love it, and I feel like that has made it easier for me to go back to school because of where my mind is at right now. So yeah, that has been my experience with going back to school in my 30s. And please keep an eye out for my video with the HESI, because yeah, I have some things I would like to say about that, and some things that y'all probably would want to know. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you.